Can we please move on?
All right, we're moving.
Let's move on.
We're
Chattanooga.
Chattanooga.
All right.
Can we please move on?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't good, Dave.
Really?
It was
Are you
not good.
sure?
I'm positive. I've watched a lot of soccer in my day.
Okay.
And this game left me really struggling.
I want to reiterate to you, dear podcast listener, we tried hard to stay positive. We really tried.
I was honest as I was looking. I was just like, what positives can I take away from this team? What positives can the players in that first half, particularly, which was our starting lineup, right?
Starting lineup.
It was a good percentage of our starters outside of Etienne and Almada, right? We're all out there that were available. And boy, it was painful to watch. I did not see anything creative against a team that is very much a lesser team and should be, that was playing one-touch soccer against us at many, many moments and just made us look really, really JV. It was one of those moments where I'm like, why did I start a podcast about an MLS team? Why?
All right, let's back up a half step.
If you want to know how I felt, that was like
Oh.
everything I've said about the MLS might be wrong. It might not be one of the most progressing leagues because that soccer and what we did out there was horrific. And I have nothing positive to say about the first half on, even if we are trying to get something right in terms of playing out of the back or some sort of identity. I don't know. Am I wrong? Did anybody
let's go.
Comment on YouTube, people? I want to know. Like, did you guys see anything? Am I out of my mind? I can give me a specific example of what we did that's positive in that game. I mean, what did we do?
Okay, let's just tell them who the starting lineup was. Brad Guzan in goal. Brooks Lennon at right back. Miles Robinson and Parata in the center, and Gutman on the left. A center midfield trio of Sosa at defensive midfield in front of behind Josetu and Ibarra. The wingers were Machop Chol and Araujo, and up top was Jackson Conway. So that is, right now our starting lineup. Obviously, Thiago Almada didn't play. He would be in the starting lineup because he had a slight knock, nothing serious. He's going to be fine. And presumably Etienne would be in the starting lineup. So you got to figure that it would be Almada instead of Machop Chol.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. And it would be presumably Etienne instead of either Ibarra or Josetu or Sosa, one of the three.
Yeah. Chol did not look good. He kept trying to get to the end line and cross. Couldn't do it with any sort of quality.
Trying to do too much. His first and second touch were not good at all. And I get that because it's preseason, it's rusty. So
Okay.
I get that. And so that's just one player out of the way.
Okay.
Who else do we got? Give me another player.
Jackson Conway.
I don't remember anything.
Yeah, I can't remember a single dang thing he did.
I don't even know if he was in the game.
Really?
If you told me he was in the game, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
No clue.
I don't remember a single
So
thing.
not good.
Not good.
Who else? Keep going. Luis Araujo.
2 goals.
2 goals, all athletic from a guy that you would expect.
One was a PK.
Yeah, one was a PK. One he poached a bad defense, and he's the type of class player you would expect to use his speed.
And didn't Machop Chol score the third goal?
He did score. He did score. I
Now
don't know
you
which
said
one,
Jackson
but-
Conway didn't do anything, not Machop Chol, but just so you know, I think he scored.
Okay.
Chol did, not
Okay.
Jackson Conway.
At that point, I was already reeling that it was a game where we were tied with a club that had no business score. First off, a club that had no business scoring 3 goals against us. So we got.
All right, you want to start there?
Let's start out of the back.
How do you give up 3 goals to Chattanooga?
First off, when you're a goalie that's recovering at age 47, and wait, is he 47? How old is
He is
Guzan?
not
47.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm being a little.
Not even 40.
Okay, no, I'm 47.
Yes.
He sure as hell looked like he was my age.
He's like 38, 39,
38,
probably.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's right.
Maybe I'm being a little dramatic here. But when you save the ball from going out of bounds and you push it to the striker to give him an opportunity to score, It's not good.
Now, let me tell you here, Pineda.
Is that how I saw it?
I have
know.
a series of Pineda quotes. He said
There we
that
go.
he was upset after watching a group composed of his first teamers give up 3 goals in the first 45 minutes, despite the fact that the team spent much of its first sessions in training camp in improving its defense.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oof.
Ooh. Even I didn't even watch the game, but just seeing y'all's texts, I could tell defense not so
The
good.
defense was atrocious.
It was something else.
They just shredded us. I mean, the goal we gave up. I mean, Guzan goes diving outside the post just to stop a ball from going over the end line. He just spills it, and the guy just comes across and scores. So it's a terrible goal. Yeah. But forget that. Who cares? I don't care about that.
I agree. Like, look, whatever.
Like
I 100% like.
And Guzan's gonna be fine.
Guzan, I as much as I gave him shit there, it is gonna be fine. That's exactly what preseason is for.
I agree.
I'm with you. But don't give up 2 more, Dave.
But you know why we were giving up goals?
Tell me.
Did you see what our outside backs were doing?
They were moving up the field. You're saying?
Was the exact same goals we've been giving up to MLS teams all last year. And if you think Chattanooga is going to score those goals, MLS teams are going to score those goals too. It was the same thing. We got caught out time and time again, and we're scrambling to get back and getting beat off the dribble because everybody's
who was in front of Gutman again? It was Chol, right?
Chol.
So yeah, he was way up. Lennon's always way up.
Right.
So what do I have to say?
So he says that he's working all preseason on defense, right? What's he doing? What's the difference? Did you see anything different?
No. And well, hold on. Let's go to Lennon. What did you see positive out of Lennon?
Nothing. I mean, he got forward and did the same thing that he did to be honest, he looked exactly like he did all of last year. Occasionally good forward, maybe capable of delivering a ball, terribly out of position,
to what
horrible
ends?
defending.
To what end?
And we didn't score a goal against him. So you might have said, like, look, this is our chance, right? If that's really system's going to work, Brooks Lennon should be able to torch Chattanooga. He should get the crosses. And Jackson Conway should have had a feast. Maybe he doesn't score, but he should have had 3, 4, 5, 6, chances off of Lennon crosses. Did you see it?
No. Jackson Conway pressed the line up high. Lennon crossed it early.
Right.
How about a couple of those instead of trying to Lennon get to the end line, Chol get to the end line? How about an early cross where you're just bombing?
And supposedly, the whole thing is also because we're supposed to be a pressing team. Pineda keeps talking about us as a pressing team. Did we turn over Chattanooga in their end? No, we did not. Right? We got destroyed in the midfield. Okay. So this brings us to the second quote.
Rossetto and Ibarra.
Yeah. So he said, Pineda says, Thiago Almada was a late scratch because of a minor knock. It wasn't serious. Okay. Because of that, Sosa was a late add. So Sosa wasn't going to start. So that says that he thinks our starting lineup is presumably Rossetto, defensive midfielder. Why in the world he thinks Rossetto is a defensive midfielder, I will never know. He's not. He doesn't win challenges. He doesn't regain possession. Right?
No, wait. Timeout.
Yeah, go ahead.
Timeout. You're suggesting that Pineda thinks Sosa is not a starter.
That's what he just said. He said because of that, Sosa was a late add.
Okay. If this starts to come to any sort of fruition, I'm all right.
Gonna lose your mind. I know.
Yes.
Okay. So, and then he says,
"You can't be right." I think that's just him not being.
That's what he said.
I know it's what he said.
Maybe Sosa had a little knock and wasn't going to play, and then Almada's knock was.
He did have a cast or something on his arm.
Oh, maybe I don't know.
Anyway, so he says moving him into the lineup as a defensive midfielder, Sosa that is, forced Rossetto to move into the attacking position and Ibarra to move up and play as a central midfielder alongside Rossetto in some situations. Pineda said Ibarra hadn't trained at the position and didn't know the movements. Pineda said but he said that Pineda is good. Ibarra is good enough to learn how to play each position.
Ibarra played a ton of games last year at that position. Ibarra played a ton of games in that position.
Yes, he did.
That was
And
his starting role.
Even if he didn't, right? What kind of midfielder doesn't know how to play midfield?
I just feel like pushing buttons, just like all of them at once.
Can you give us the straight jacket one? Because this.
Somebody should put a straight jacket on this guy.
Yeah, because that to me is. So we got dominated in the center of the midfield by Chattanooga. Yeah. Just not a good sign. Now you'd say, all right, he doesn't have Etienne, but Almada's not going to help you defensively in the midfielder to win the battle. He's going to be the creative guy, right? So for all intents and purposes, we had, you might say that in an attacking role, maybe Etienne's the guy, but on games where we really wanted to, we're on the road in some, hostile good team, we want to pack it in a little bit. You'd go with the three more defensive players. It would be Sosa, Ibarra, and Josetu. Those guys would be the really good defensive center midfield. Right. And they got run over by Chattanooga. And I will point out for all those who say, oh, maybe Chattanooga was more in midseason form. They started preseason only 5 or 6 days before this game. Just to play this game, they started after us.
So why is it that we're seeing Ibarra and Josetu take a back step when they do have Sosa behind them, who's a great defensive center mid?
Yeah, they're talented, and I thought Sosa didn't look at all up to speed, and maybe that was the point. Maybe he had this cast on his arm. Maybe he hasn't been playing because of his arm, and maybe he's not quite ready yet or something. Yeah. So I thought Sosa was not that great.
Yeah.
So fair, but regardless of whether Sosa was not that great, we have to be able to dominate the midfield against Chattanooga, right? With those guys, if they are the guys. If you get run over, regardless of how not ready Sosa is, if you get run over in the midfield by Chattanooga, that to me says either the players suck or that the tactics are all wrong.
So what tactics would you have changed? And we talked about it last year. It's likely Chol and Lennon that are a part of that equation to not leave Ibarra and Josetu in the position of getting one touched around. Like
we got killed, in my opinion. We got killed on the outlet in transition. So they were really good in transition. I think you probably would agree. Chattanooga, they really got out. It was one touch to get out.
Yeah, they released it really fast, and they
had guys wide open.
Yeah,
that's the problem. They had guys wide open on the sides, right? That first ball. So if you're going to be a pressing team, we should have been able to press Chattanooga. If you can't press Chattanooga, you're not pressing an MLS team. And if you're going to press a team, I always talk about this. If you're going to press a team, it starts in the back. You have to have that first outlet taken away. Otherwise, the guy is chasing like a madman and it doesn't do nothing because they just play an easy ball and we're out and go. Yeah. And that's what Chattanooga did all day. So we have done nothing to fix that problem, that they have an easy outlet and they were able to build up and go down the sides against us all the time. And that is not Sosa or Ibarra or Josetu's problem. That is a tactic problem in the formation. And you would think you would watch the whole offseason video. You'd watch the whole damn thing, see that every single team beat us that way, and you would make an adjustment. Right? I mean,
do Ibarra and Josetu suck, though?
No,
okay.
I don't think so.
Let's clarify that then.
I'm not huge, high. I think Ibarra's a little young. He's not quite ready yet. And I'm not super high on Josetu, but I don't think they suck. Do I think that they're really, really good? No. But do I think that they suck? No. Do I think they should be able to dominate Chattanooga? Yes.
In fact, I think there was a moment when both of them were progressing, and then it took a huge dive.
They stalled,
and then they've just gone backwards, which is a shame for their careers because I do think that both of them could be great players. And could be very solid players.
You can see that in the quotes that Pineda hasn't changed his tune, right? So here's the quote. It was supposed to work like this. This is Pineda in attack, according to Pineda. When Atlanta United had the ball, Ibarra was supposed to drop back beside Sosa to give Almada and Araujo more space inside and more space to the airplanes, Lennon and Gutman on the wings outside, running in behind Chattanooga's last line. So that's the tactic. Does that sound a lot like last year's tactic?
Well, it also doesn't sound like it worked, right? Like running every time Chol got the ball, right? Like again, he was coming back to it to receive it, and then he was forced to figure out some moves to try to get to the end line and cross it. That's what I saw.
And is Lennon ever going to run by anybody?
No.
But you know who could?
Who could is Ronald Hernandez.
Well, maybe.
Wiley.
Wiley.
Oh, yeah.
And Araujo.
Yeah.
Why in the world isn't the system set up for Araujo to Pineda, if you want an airplane, right? Here's my test of Pineda. Okay. Yeah. His airplanes, who are his flying guys down the wing. That's the metaphor, right? Yeah. Flying guys down the wing. First, you might want to find out who's the fastest, right? So do me a test. Do me a favor, Pineda, which would be ridiculous. I would never suggest you actually do this. Go out and take Araujo and take Brooks Lennon on a track and let them run a 100-yard dash against each other and see who finishes first.
Yeah.
Araujo gonna it's gonna be a 20-yard gap.
Yeah.
Right. And then you say to me, who do you want running behind the defense? Who's your airplane? Araujo.
Yeah.
Right. Why isn't the system designed for Araujo to get in behind people? He's fast and strong and skillful.
And there might be a guy named Almada that can slot a ball to him behind the defense.
That's your system. Get Almada on the ball. Get Araujo running.
Get Ronald Hernandez playing fullback and playing defense.
The fullbacks playing fullback.
Because you know who came on in the second half and looked pretty decent with the other kind of second stringers was Ronald Hernandez, a Venezuelan starter for the national team, which God only knows why they don't see what we see in Ronald Hernandez, a guy who freaking knows how to play defense.
Well, because he doesn't fit the system.
You're right. He doesn't fit the airplane model. It doesn't work.
Our airplanes have been grounded. You know what? We should call the Pineda attacking formation. Here it is. Ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Southwest. It's the grounded airline. Can I get a boom shakalaka?
My bad.
Oh, you're going ATL too.
Sorry, I'm just pressing everything.
That's right.
My bad.
Roadcasting crazy.
But yeah, that's the problem.
I love how this podcast is going off the rails.
It's gone off the rails in a heartbeat.
Might be the wine. It might be the truth. Serum that we're drinking. I don't know.